Welcome along, everybody, to my watch along for practice 1 for the 2025 Formula 1 Qatar Grand Prix, the only practice session of the weekend. I'm so excited. Our McLaren going to be falling off. That didn't make sense. Our McLaren going to be bad. Now they have to raise the ride height of their car to deal with this problem. Or is Piastri going to be locked in? Or is Lando going to take the championship this weekend? It's either going to go down to Abu Dhabi, or we're gonna get Lando Norris as a brand new champion. Either way, it's practice 1 time. Welcome in everyone to the stream. If you're new here, this is how it works. You got my face here, you got the live timings here, you got the session timer down in the bottom left that you can sync on up with, and you got lovely Twitch chat that you can type in. So if you're watching right now on TikTok or YouTube, come join us on Twitch. Specifically, TikTok, right now, if you're watching, be sure to follow and be sure to join us on Twitch. I do need to restart the stream real quick. So yeah, make sure to follow if you haven't already. And more importantly, come join us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Ponden. I'm going to quickly restart the stream. I'll be back, but make sure you're following. Be back in a second. All right. I don't know what the fuck's happening with my TikTok today. My gaming PC is done. My main PC is dying. I don't know what the fuck is happening right now. Let me just re-go live on TikTok. We got the Middle East music back. All right. And I was logged out of fucking broadcast. I was having a good morning. Now what's happening to all my problems? Oh my god, the session's already started. Let me get the timer up. 59 30. Yeah, I forgot to do predictions as well. Lol. All right, time is up. Sync on up with that. Let's get some predictions up in Twitch chat. Who will qualify? Who will finish first in practice 1? We won't run these for too long. So get your channel point predictions in. Go, 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 go. Dude, my gaming PC is dying. Like, everything's... I've got... My broadcast is, like, low frame rate. What is happening? Have I got a virus? Very high. What is that? Whoa. I just opened up my task manager and something was running very high and then it disappeared. Power usage, Google Chrome. What's happening? That must be hacked. That's weird. Okay, it's stopped now. As soon as I opened my task manager, it just died. It just stopped. Anyways, let's get into practice 1. Let's talk about it. Anything new this weekend? No special liveries. I guess big news, where we haven't spoken about yet. Adrian Newey is now the team principal for Aston Martin. And what's his name? Andy Cow? I just made that name up. Anyways, Andy, the old team principal of Aston Martin. He's still at the team. He's not been fired, but he is being demoted down to... Well, not demoted, really, but he's now the CFO. And him and Adrian will be doing joint team principal responsibilities, but Adrian will be the main face, the main head of the team. Now, that's fucking huge. Some people are saying that's big for this for Aston. I don't rate it. I'm going to be honest. I don't rate it. You've signed this guy for hundreds of millions of dollars. And you are now to be a designer. And now he's got to be a team principal, which he's never done before. And Adrian Newey is a very timid guy. I'm sure he could do a good job as a team principal. But you're telling me you want to take away from his capabilities and his focus on designing a car to run the team? Like Christian Horner said, oh, Adrian could never run a team. Like, he's just not a people person. And now he's the team principal. Now, don't get me wrong. Obviously, certain things are going to be delegated towards Andy. Some things are going to be delegated towards Adrian. But I think you should not be throwing that much money at someone if you're not going to make them do their job, focus fully on their job. And 2, I love Adrian. Adrian Newey is the GOAT of F1. It's not Lewis Hamilton. It's not Michael Schumacher. It is Adrian Newey. He is the greatest person to ever be in Formula 1. And now he's a team principal? What? I don't like that. Look, it's not going to be a huge problem for Aston. Their car's still going to be good. Their team's still going to be good. But, you know, if Adrian has to come into the office in the morning and be like, fuck, I got to deal with Stroll. I got to deal with Fernando. I got to deal with this. I got to deal with that. And managing people, he's not going to be able to spend too much time on his car. Now, obviously, you know, people are going to make the argument, oh, but Komatsu, look what Komatsu's done for Haas. Oh, look what Lauren Mekies has done with Red Bull. Look what James Vowles has done with Williams. Yeah, but they gave up their roles. James Vowles isn't a designer team principal. Komatsu isn't a technical director team principal. Lauren Mecky's in a technical director team principal. They are team principals. Their one job is team principal. Now Adrian Newey has to do two of the biggest jobs in Formula One. Well, the biggest job for a team, which is a team principal, and the second biggest job of aerodynamics at the same time. At the same damn time. So I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the decision. I don't think it's going to affect us in that much, really, in the grand scheme of things.
Loving the
weird.
watch-longs this season. Thank you. Starting my first job next week, on ramp 5-week training. Big weekend of F1.
Wait, ramp 5-week training? What does that mean? I don't know what 5 ramp week training means. But thank you so much for the 100 bits. Really appreciate it. And thank you so much for tuning on in for almost every watch along every single week. But yeah, good luck with the job next week. Let's go. Ramp agent. Oh yeah, I remember you saying you were working for the airport. That would be fun. You can see all that. Oh, you can see all the planes and shit going by. That would be sick. I don't know why, but he looks so much like Liam Lawson. I'll take it as a compliment, but I don't see it. I don't see it. Albon not happy with his visor as Lando has a massive lockup into the last corner. Oh, sorry, not lockup, snap. All right, let's have a look at the ride height. Williams, okay, and I want to compare it. Can we get a zoom in on McLaren's ride height? I want to see McLaren's ride height right now. GM Jose, Christine, and everyone, thank you guys for following. Demon Bot, Miles, Kevin, Cara, thank you guys for following as well. How's it going though? 16 cap on the stream, dude. Mic crack is clear. Yeah, what happened to mic crack, bro? Not now, just for 2026. Well, starting 2026. Okay, well, so. Russell's rocking Mr. Beast logo on his helmet because he lost a bet. Tsunoda versus Lawson bum up. Yeah, that's another thing to keep an eye on this weekend is it's basically apparently Liam Lawson versus Yuki Tsunoda for a seat next year. I mean, I'm sure it doesn't matter what happens this weekend. They'll make a decision based off the whole season. But yeah, if Liam can do well, maybe he'll edge him over Yuki or vice versa. Kayla, J. Stott, 16, Kat, Annabelle, thank you guys for following. Holy crap, guys! Who in chat before said we don't need the race to go down to Abu Dhabi? F1 don't need the race to go to Abu Dhabi because I cannot believe how much more hyped Formula One gets when there's a championship fight to talk about. I have not seen this many people tuning into a practice stream ever. Sorry, not ever. This year. No, actually, maybe ever. We got 270 people right now tuning in for a practice on a Friday. Americans haven't even woken up yet. Everyone else is at school and work. And we got 250 people. My highest viewer count for a fucking practice session. If that's not a prime example of how much F1 fans love a championship fight, I don't know what is. Also, the viewer numbers in fucking Vegas were insane. I had the most followers gained over a weekend since like 2022. It was wild, man. It was wild. And Vegas was a shit time as well. I love F1, man. It's like there's nothing better. There's nothing better. Is what we live for. Exactly. Shout out the baby. That's criminal though. He's got an Alpine hat with Mercedes top. Your fave kid out there with the follow. D1 Jonkman. Hackalon. Thank you guys for following. Don't want to jinx, but maybe Max's onboard looks stable. Touch wood. The front left is giving up, says Max. If you don't know, this weekend, we've got a mandatory 2-stop, just like we had in Monaco earlier this year. Now, obviously, Monaco is a outlier in the season. It's a weird track for shit track for racing. So maybe the 2-stop in Qatar will actually be really good. Yeah, Max up to the top, 3/10 up. Come on! Wow, we're gonna start cheering on for practice. All right, Piastri, where's he gotta go? Literally, the track's not even fucking warmed up yet. All right, P2, 2/10 off. We're gonna be looking at every single lap from these guys today. He's speaking in code, don't worry. Oh, yeah, true. So, fun fact, actually, for people who don't know, I didn't know about this either until I was in the garage. when the drivers come into the pits, their radio cuts off to the broadcast and to other teams. So if you don't know, every single team can listen to each other's radios. I don't know if about every team, but I know Red Bull do this, and most teams do this, where back at the factory, they have a team of people, and one person listens to each driver's radio. So there will be someone who just listens. Someone at Red Bull's job on a Grand Prix weekend is to just listen to Lando's radio and listen to what they're doing and relay that back to the team if it's important information. But in practice, when they come into the pits, into the garage, into the pit lane, to like adjust the setup and stuff like that, their radio cuts off. So when I was at the Australian Grand Prix in 2023, and I was able to put the headset on. Red Bull, I have a gripe to pick with you though. Half the headsets don't fucking work in the garage, and you're all just like fighting over the two headsets that work. Yeah, when you come into the garage, anyways, when I was in the garage in 2023, I had the headset on, and it was so fascinating to listen to Max and Checo discuss with the engineer their drivers. So like, and the way they talk as well. Oh, Leclerc off track. Okay, he's good. It was so fascinating to me to listen to the drivers talk about the setup. Like, I'll try to give you like a rough rundown. Obviously, this is not accurate at all, but I'll give you a rough rundown of what it sounded like. But like, Max would come in the pits and he'd be like, turn 1 felt good. Turn 2, I had a little bit of understeer. Turn 3, can we try? I think we need to change the diff into that corner or something like that. Basically, you'd go through each corner and give his rundown of how he'd feel. Like literally, he would remember every single corner, and he would come in the garage and he'd go corner by corner and say, I felt this, I felt that. Meanwhile, Checo was really struggling in Australia that year. So he was talking about how his, he was like, I need more brake and blah, blah, blah. And it was really interesting because Checo would be like, what's Max? What's Max doing? What's Max doing? What's Max doing? And Max would just come into the garage and be like, this. Yeah. McLaren are sparking like crazy. Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, McLaren are running quite low to the ground in comparison to the Williams that I saw before. Okay. If McLaren take a risk on running the car low to the ground again, with it being in mind that, oh, it's not a street circuit, it's not bumpy, we're not going to scrape too low to the ground enough to the point where we need we will get a DSQ. That's so risky, but fair play, I guess. That's obvious, isn't it? I mean, I don't think so. If it wasn't obvious, I didn't know about it. What if teammates could talk to each other while racing? Imagine. But that's the thing. They've only... McLaren's complaint last week was, oh, we only had one practice session to get the car right. You only have one practice session every sprint weekend. And you got it right. They just took too big of a risk. Def Curse, Cranberry Juice. Thank you guys for following. Alright, Oscar up to the top, 3 turns ahead of Max. I told you, I have a feeling he's going to be locked in this week. Is that a picture of Lando? Why has he got a tag Hua cap on? And now Max responding with a purple sector 1/10 up. When you know McLaren have put a non-findable device under the car, but you just can't prove it. Oh, and Max goes off. Wow, and Russell goes up to the top. Yeah, I feel like I'm paying too much attention to practice now. Jewel, thank you for the follow. FP1 doesn't mean shit. No, it doesn't. But also, it's the only practice session we can look at this weekend. So, it's going to mean more than normal. We got Juan Pablo Montoya on the F1 TV broadcast at the moment. Excuse me. Yeah, P1 is so important. You got 1 hour to get your car right for the whole weekend. I mean, obviously you have sprint, quali, and sprint to then afterwards adjust before quali, but you don't have any time between sprint and quali to test the car. Max loves his Zeus, they were like, what's up, Tom? Good to see you, man. Oh Oh my god, look how much. Wait, has Liam got a problem? Look how much Liam's scraping. Wait, is he got a puncture? That was. He's scraping everywhere. That looks like he's got he's got damage or something. Is that normal? Anyways, Tom, good to see you, dude. I feel like we haven't spoken in a while. I feel like I don't get to catch your streams as much anymore because I'm either live at the same time or I don't know. I just yeah. But I'm very well, sir. I am so excited for these last 2 rounds. Imagine Lando overtakes Max on last lap of Grand Prix in Abu Dhabi to win the World Drivers' Championship. Honestly, I just wanted to go to Abu Dhabi. Like, even if Lando wins in Abu, like obviously I want Max to win, but like, yeah, look at that. That looks like he's got damage. Anyways, even if Lando wins in Abu Dhabi, like I'd be sad. But Abu Dhabi weekend will just be so fucking good. Dude, this is a gold mine for you. This championship finish for everyone. No, honestly. I mean, last week, that breaking news McLaren stream was one of my best streams ever. Probably one of my favorite streams of the year as well. And like the way I saw the McLaren DSQs was like it hits all 3 of my like what's the word? It hits all 3 of my things for Formula 1. Like, at most, I'm a Formula 1 fan. I want good racing. I don't care if it's Sainz versus Latifi for a championship. Like, I just want a championship fight, right? So, the McLaren DSQs last week helps the championship fight. So, as an F1 fan, that tickles my fancy. Then, from a content standpoint, obviously, that's great. A championship fight coming down to the last 2 races, that's beautiful. But then, it's my driver that benefits from it. My driver that is in the fight, like, it's just, you know what I mean? Like, it's just perfect. It's just perfect. But now I don't want to get too excited now because I just have a good feeling it's going to Abu Dhabi. I just have a really good feeling that it will go to Abu Dhabi. Basically, as long as Lando doesn't win this weekend, it should go to Abu Dhabi. Unless Russell wins. And then it might be a little bit fucky. Hey, man. I also love that people have ruled out the Mercs and Ferrari being involved this weekend. Yeah, no, I didn't. I personally wasn't ruling out the Mercs. Ferrari, yeah, fuck Ferrari. But no, the Mercs can definitely get involved this weekend. How's it going, Max Lex? Yes, Sainz versus the TV fight, please. I feel like Lando is sealing it this weekend. This race is going to be Russell Norris Verstappen. I think people are ruling out Piastri. This is probably one of Piastri's best races on the calendar. He performed so well here last year and the year before. And people forget that this was one of Lando's worst races last year. He had made like 3 mistakes in the race. He got 2 penalties. He fucking crashed, I think. Whoa! Alonso up to the top on hard. What the fuck? But yeah, I think a lot of people are underestimating Piastri this weekend and overestimating Lando. Yeah, he sucked here last year. Ideal world, and look, again, I don't like to wish bad things on drivers. I'd rather drivers do well than a driver have to do bad. But like, ideal world is Lando doesn't win the race. Max or Piastri does. And Lando retires in the sprint. Because then we come down to Abu Dhabi and there'd be minimal points between all 3 of them. But if Lando somehow, whether it's his own doing or gets involved in it, retires, like, he just needs to not put himself in a position to retire, basically. If he tries too hard to get these 2 points and retires, woof. Oh, Max game block. Who's this blind idiot? Robbie, David Pollock. Who looks the most comfortable in the first 20 minutes? Well, Russell's at the top, so, yeah. like Gridjoke said, the McLarens are going to overthink their setup too much this weekend, I think. And if they don't overthink it, then they might risk the problem again. What is happening to the broadcast right now? Also, that was so weird that my PC was dying, and then I open up Task Manager, see something using up all my PC's fucking shit, and then all of a sudden, it just disappeared. That's kind of scary. Aren't you supposed to be in Qatar? Me? I wish I went to Qatar. I mean, cool. Why not P19? He did his laps early on, and then his setup looked really poo, so they've come in to the pits. Hey, man. You gotta give sub from Speed Race on the Sim Racing channel? Hell yeah. Whap! What's up, dude? Yeah, but I don't know how to get a fucking virus. I'm like clued with that shit. And I don't really do anything on my gaming PC anyway. Windows maintenance task tend to use 100% CPU. Maybe it was that, but also I'm still on Windows 10, so I don't get any more Windows updates. All done. Gooner alert. This would be a perfect weekend for Snow to become competitive. Imagine. Chrome is the virus. No, honestly, Chrome uses way more data than it should. Way more data than it should. You put $1,000 on maximum in the championship. Think it hits. How much are you gonna get returned for 1,000? Is that like 4x? Should 4x sounds would be decent. If you could have any 3 drivers in contention for the title right now, who would it be? Easy answer. Max, Russell, Leclerc. 3 drivers who are very talented. 3 drivers who are very aggressive. And 3 drivers who deserve championships. Why is Norris last? He hasn't done he came into the pit so to change his setup. Lewis in current form would not be fun to watch in a championship fight, and I don't know. I think Russell and Leclerc would be way more spicy with Max, and I mean yeah, I'd love to see Alonso in a championship fight, to be honest, but I don't know, maybe I'm a bit more of a new head and would prefer to see the guys I've watched for 7 years compete for a title rather than Alonso have a chance at a second one or a third one. Sorry. You said in general. Well, yeah. I mean, I'd still say Verstappen, Russell, Leclerc would be my dream title fight. I think. Like I've already seen Max versus Lewis. Not saying I wouldn't want it again, but yeah, I would prefer to see Leclerc and Russell. Leclerc and Russell in a title fight would be so good. Like imagine this year's fight. Imagine this year's fight. If Piastri didn't become a bum in the last 6 races, we would 100% be going down at the final race if Piastri wasn't fucking throwing. Well, actually, to be... Oh my god! Norris is struggling so much! There was 3 corners in a row he had a snap. Oh, look how much they've raised the car. Maybe it's just because it's going slow, but I can see under the car now. Hey, man. One sec, I'm getting called. I'm back. Sorry. I got a PT session tomorrow, and he just called me to be like, "Hey, we'll meet here at this time. Just wanted to confirm." Yeah. I'm one of those people that, like, if my phone rings, it's important. You know what I mean? Like, someone's not calling me if it wasn't important. I mean, not that that was important, but like, what I mean is, like, I'm always someone who's like, I'll pick up the phone because, like, it obviously means something, and like, you know, I'm glad I did, because otherwise, like, I don't know, there's nothing wrong with answering the phone. Like, Hannah is criminal. Like, every time her phone rings, she just doesn't answer it. I'm like, why? And she's like, well, I don't know, if I don't know the number, or if I don't know this. And then one time I was like, pick it up. I bet you it's important. And she picked it up, and it was, oh, who was it? It was something important. I was like, I told you. Who knows what you'd miss? Exactly. It could be a radio randomly calling you. Maybe it was maybe it was like something you signed up for that you forgot and you fucking won something. Maybe I swear it was like our rental company like called us to be like blah blah blah. Yeah, what if it's your fucking family member who's like crashed on the side of the road and it's calling from a random number? I'm the same if I don't know the number I ain't answering. Well, your family member's stuck on the side of the road right now. Wait, Bottas again? How does Bottas keep getting... how does this keep happening, bro? How is Bottas in this sport? And answering an unknown number. You guys aren't living by the 1% rule. You do you, but I'm picking up that phone because if there's a 1% chance I've won something, and if I don't pick up the phone, but also like I don't get scam calls. So of course, if the number's calling me, it means something. Can someone update me what's going on? So he came out, setup sucked, came in, came out, setup sucked, and now he's on track with this shitty setup. Actually, to be fair, I do get it. The odd scam call where you answer it, and then it's like it just beeps. And it's like a computer or some shit. I'm like, I wonder what's that? What's happening when they do that? But it doesn't bother me. I'd rather pick up. Wait, what the fuck? They just get a raid on YouTube. Wait, am I tripping or is that a raid on YouTube? Well, Hayden, if that is a raid, thank you for the raid. I've never seen that before on YouTube. I didn't even know that existed. So thank you. Welcome in, everyone from Hayden's stream, if you're tuning on in. Maybe Hayden's getting a free shout out right now. I don't even know. But Hayden, thank you so much for the raid, if that is real. Oh, if that actually what? Oh, okay, he says hello. Okay, did it work? Okay. Well, Hayden, thank you for the raid. Welcome in, everyone from Hayden's stream. If you're watching on YouTube right now, we're currently halfway through FP1. Alright, let's ride on board with Piastri. Whoa! The McLarens are struggling! McLarens are struggling right now. Yeah, they just record that you answer to give your number to more spam callers. Oh, I see. I was going to beat so you're enjoying Qatar. Albie, name of the bullet. Ethan, no ice. Robbie, there you guys are following. Oh, wait, I forgot to end the predictions. All right, we're ending them now. Sure, doesn't really make a difference, but yeah. Holy crap! We have got, just to put this into context right now, for how exciting this is, and to show how exciting the F1 world is, I kind of like, it's kind of good to look at like Twitch viewership, whether it's my channel or other people's channel, to kind of gauge how interested people are in a Grand Prix or Formula One. Like Monaco and Silverstone, more people watch watch-alongs that weekend, which shows how much people like those tracks. Yes, Monaco is one of the most watched weekends of the year, so don't give me don't say, oh, but it's shit though. Well, why is it one of the highest viewerships of the year then? We have got qualifying fucking viewership right now for a practice session. Like the same amount of people who tuned in to watch qualifying for Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, you know, earlier in the year, Spain, stuff like that, are tuning in right now to watch a practice session. That is how exciting this fucking end of the season is. Yeah, mate, loving it. Last go 8 years ago, and my word, they are louder. Oh wait, I forgot you've not been to a Formula One car in so you've not been to a Formula One event in a while. Did everything go quicker since then? You'll be on the screen. We spoke about that news earlier. Sunstrike, then follow. We need a DNF from McLaren. Maybe we don't with how fucking poo they are right now. Again, Norris off track. Put it this way. If this happens, if what's happening right now happens for the rest of the weekend, Piastri Championship's over. That's the thing, though. Like, if Lando Norris individually struggles, it's a three-way fight in Abu Dhabi. If McLaren struggles, it's over for Piastri. Well, unless Lando and Max crash in Abu Dhabi and then Lando and Piastri wins. There's still a possibility. You are too hyped for you going to drink. Oh, okay, I'll be boring then. Guys, we'll wait until sprint quali before we get hyped. No, you gotta get hyped, man. I mean, it might lead to disappointment, but I'm gonna get hyped. I have an endurance racing karting later. I'm arguing not to have my stint during sprint qualifying. Championship over. Give it to Bax. Alright, Norris up to P4. Still behind the B Cub though. Whoa! Lewis off track. You can see how much confidence you need at a track like this. Russell, can he chill down you or not in the fight? No, this is good. Unless Russell wins the race, then that's not good. But Russell being in the mix is very good. More pressure on the McLarens. Take points away from the McLarens. Need Antonelli to lock in as well. McLarens look super bouncy on board. There are quite a few sparks. Yeah, maybe they'll just take a risk with it. Oh, I would love Liam to lock in this weekend, secure some solid points, move back ahead of Bamman and closer to Hadra in the championship. What time is sprint qualifying later? So I think it's a 3-hour gap between practice one. It's at 5:30. So yeah, 3-hour gap. Usually it's 2.5 hours, but on sprint weekends it's 3-hour gaps in between sessions. Da, da, da. That gap is mad. We'd be live all the time. That ain't a mad gap. That's basically standard. We got F2 to watch. We got a bunch of videos to watch as well because all the videos saved from fucking Vegas because I couldn't talk at normal volume. I was smelling a lot of wood. Is he trolling? No, why could we had that as a radio rather than the text? That's fucking hilarious. He's either trolling or that he's got some crazy nostrils. I mean, have you seen Russell's nostrils? X part there with the follow. McLaren looks wait, read that. Yeah, I think Lewis is going to struggle this weekend. This track's so much about confidence and trusting your car, and I don't think he has any confidence or any trust. Shifts have gone to shit. Feels really slow and harsh, says Max. I don't. What does he mean by? I don't get what he means by the shifts. Like, usually I'd assume like, oh, the shifting means like it's out of sync. It's something to do with the engine. But what does he mean? The shifts are slow. Like he hits the gear shifter and then it shifts up the engine later. Are they gonna go on mediums to softs at all right now, or just go on the hards? Yeah, they should go on some mediums to softs soon. But as this is the only practice session, maybe they're prioritizing race setup or sprint setup. Have a thing with the follow. Because at the end of the day, you can make a race car good in quality, but you can't make a quality car good in the race. You do more laps on the setup in the race. You only do a few on the quality. George Russell, the kind of guy to let Max win on Sunday if he's leading with Max P2. He should. He should. Help out his future teammate, you know what I mean? Every time he shifts, it kills some speed. Right, that makes sense. McLaren is second faster than everyone on long runs? Really? George and Max rotate between hating each other and being gay every week. I want to know. Okay. There's 3 things that are going on here. 1, Max's car is generally poo-poo and it's not looking good. 2, Max is just relaying normal information over the radio that a driver would, and F1 TV's like putting it on the broadcast to try, I don't know, like make some drama. Or 3, Max is like one of the only drivers on the grid that actually gives proper feedback to his team, and F1 TV think that's a problem with the car. So then they broadcast it, like I just said. Because it gets to the point now where like Max complains and you're like, is it actually a complaint or is this just him trying to like get the car in the zone? Normal info. Well, he's telling his team, hey, I don't like the dampening on the car. So then when he comes in the pits, they can fix it. If he doesn't say that, then they're not going to fix it. It's the same as being like, hey, that doesn't feel good through that corner. Or, hey, that's this or that's that. Zen, click, so guess what? F1 TV are going to be annoying with this weekend and next weekend if it goes to Abu Dhabi. They better fucking lock in with the broadcast. Top 3 Qatar sprint and race. What's my top 3? It's too hard to say. Right now, if I had to take a guess, Max P1, Russell P2, Lando P3. It's slime that you're following. Jordan, whatever that. My top 5 is Drake, and Drake. That is top 5 clips of all time. Drive to Survive are eating good the next 2 weeks. Yeah, but they'll probably make like 1 episode on this whole situation. Forgot about F2 this weekend. Back to Daily Dun Terrorismo. Yeah, I'm excited F2's back, but 2 months. 68 days since we had F2. What is F2? So quali is in between practice 1 and sprint quali. Yeah, this clipping out of turn 6 is a disaster. Just no pace out of the corner, says Max. KO's a horrible provider. Piastri starts lap, instant ad. So it's not KO's choice. It's F1 F1 choose when to put the ad break. So even though F1 TV don't have ads, ads on the international broadcast are all ran at the same time. Oh, actually, sorry, I think I'm incorrect in that. I think no, KO takes Sky Sports' broadcast. So Sky Sports choose when to run the ads, and KO have to run ads when Sky Sports choose. So it's Sky Sports' choice for that ad to be there when it just was. Max is crashing out as usual in practice. Yep. But I'm saying confident. I'm like, nope. It's just practice. Do you generally think Stroll's bad? I don't think he's bad. I just think he doesn't live up to where he should be. Yeah. And I just don't think he should be in the sport. How's race pace so far? I'm not sure. I struggled to look at race pace. You have to look a bit more into the data. Meep, gritty, shoey. What did that sign say? This guy's supposed to the global feed distributor. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure, Dinglu. I'm not sure. We have to wait till some proper analysis is posted on Twitter and stuff. With all these new regs and FIA being strict again, with all the teams are going to be in shambles. Now look at the whole season. Do you think that Lewis hype with Ferrari might be the worst one? Like not a single podium this season, even last in quali. Oh yeah. I mean, in my opinion, it was so obvious this was going to happen. It was so obvious it was a fundamental Lewis Hamilton problem with the Rega cars, not a Mercedes problem. Anyone who's watched the sport knows that Leclerc is a top tier driver, and he's at his home team. Like this was always going to happen. And like I said it in my predictions, in my championship predictions, I said it on a podcast, and like as per usual, the Lewis Hamilton fan base was like, "You hate Lewis, always hating on Lewis." But was I wrong? Like I told you so. You know what I mean? And it sucks because I don't want to say Lewis is going to suck, but like coming into Ferrari, he's come into an environment that he's in a different environment for the first time in 10, however plus many years. He's come up against one of the best drivers in the sport, and the fundamental problem of Lewis not being able to drive this rig of cars doesn't change going to another team. It was always going to be like this. So yeah, the hype that was brought in for Lewis, that's fine. He is the most hyped driver on the grid. He's got the most followers. He's the most marketable. He's the 7-time champ. He's a goat. You know what I mean? So I don't think it wasn't like he was overhyped. They hyped him up as they should have for a driver like that. It's just a shame they've not been able to deliver. Appreciate that, Ding Lu. Proves how good Charles is a driver, though. But we already knew that. If you didn't think Charles was a good driver before Lewis went there, then you're smoking. What the hell are these headphones that Wheatley's wearing? Just had a terrible year, and I don't think regs will help him even next year. Yeah. I think the confidence has been lost, and I don't think he has the same passion to put in the work. I'm not saying Lewis has to be, can't go out and party like he did in Vegas and can't do this and can't do that, but like, I would love to know how much time each driver spends in the simulator, because I reckon Lewis would have the lowest by far. Him and Alonso. But I think Lewis would be lowest. I mean, I don't know. That's just an assumption, but like, never heard him talk about a simulator. I think, there's been interviews from him and team members who have said that Lewis doesn't care for the sim, doesn't believe in the sim, and not doesn't believe in it, but just doesn't think it helps him. And it's like, does Max spend the most time? No, Max wouldn't spend the most time in the sim either. He's done these tracks over and over and over and over again. It would be the rookies. The rookies would probably spend the most time in the sim because they want to learn the track and get used to the track before the weekend. It is my just assumption. I'd say the rookies do the most laps. The experienced drivers do the least. But it depends on contracts and how much time they want to put into the car and making it better. But I'd say Max isn't the most, but I'd say he's somewhere in the middle because he doesn't need to put as much time in because he's got so much experience at the tracks. But he's also so integral in making the car better. Laura Ocean, thank you for the follow. Your opinion. What's your opinion? Who is generally going to take it home on Sunday? This Sunday? It's too hard to tell. I mean, if Russell. No, I hope it's not Russell. What's up, Shu? How's it going? I'm looking forward to those top snail cards coming out once the championship is decided. Whoever, it doesn't matter who it is. I've still got my 2021 Max Verstappen top snail cards. The Abu Dhabi ones. Oof. Is it weird that I would love Lewis to go back to McLaren for one season to see Oscar in that Ferrari? I mean, I think everyone would love that just for the like how crazy it would be, but I don't know it would ever happen. Everyone says that, Papaya. Everyone says it. All right, 10 minutes left to practice. Guys, if you've been enjoying the stream so far, be sure to follow down below. We do watch-alongs for every session, for every Grand Prix weekend. We're going to be staying live all the way through the sprint qualifying. We have got F2 qualifying to watch. So, yeah, be sure to stick around. If you're watching on TikTok or YouTube, come join us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Ponden. All right, VCarb, second team to go out on softs. Bearman only managed a 4th, but Hadji goes up to the top. Let's see how the big boys respond, though. They don't look very racy from Liam. And Liam P6. Oof, what the fuck was that? How quick do you think Max wins a NASCAR race? I don't think he does. I think he would have a really good... actually, road course. Maybe it'd give him a little bit of time. But he would never win an oval. Yeah, but all you gotta do is turn left. Yeah, but like... You gotta... There's so much different skills that go into that and the strategy behind it. Very grounded take. Thank you for not shitting on NASCAR. I mean, the same way that I think NASCAR fans and drivers shouldn't be shitting on F1. It's the same with me. Like, don't get me wrong. I do think NASCAR takes less skill than F1, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't take no skill at all. You know what I mean? It's the same. It's the same people who say NASCAR takes no skill is the same people who say darts isn't a sport. Damn, Liam struggling with the car, but had just locked in. Whoa, someone's off track. Like, anyone who can watch any sport and say it doesn't take skill is just stupid. Like, don't be wrong, I fucking hate cricket, but I understand the skill that goes into cricket. Have you watched Aussie V8? I have. I've done a hot lap into V8 supercars. I went to, obviously seen it when it was at Australia for both Australian Grand Prix I've been to, and I've been to the Gold Coast 500 2 years. How is darts a sport, though? Because it's a competition where you are doing something physically. I mean, yeah, you could argue it's more on the side of, like, Olympics, where it's, like, more a competition than a sport. But, I mean, what's the definition of a sport? You know what I mean? Like, in my opinion, a sport is a competition that is played in a physical way. I mean, and then yes, you could argue like esports and chess is a sport, but I would argue esports is a sport. In my opinion, esports is like motorsport. It's a specific genre of sport. All right, McLaren on the softs. Are they just not good on the hards? Up to the top by 5/10. Ah! Okay, so McLaren look good on the softs. They got the softs shorted. Norris goes up to the top. Piastri P2, but 4/10 off. And Max just made a mistake, it seems, because he's 5/10 off. Damn, Max 5/10 off. Fuck! Come, Mercedes. Come, Mercedes. I mean, I don't know. What tire are they gonna go on in the race? Let's hope it's hard. Wow, Russell 8th. What the fuck? The pecking order completely changed on the after we changed tires. What? Mercedes just went from second best team, or best team, I think, to P8, P9. Williams came out of nowhere. Williams jumped V-cubs on the softs. And, yeah, McLaren jumped up. Where's Ferrari though? Ferrari. Oh, Stroll went off track. Whoa, that's not good. The way you. Watching a watch along without seeing the session itself. Are you relying solely on the commentary? Anything big happen? Nothing really big happened. It's just everyone. It's been lap, really. Slow walks. EDN. Thank you guys for following. Oh man. Wait, that was Leclerc's lap on a soft? Was that Leclerc's lap on a soft? Oh yeah, if the weekend's like it is right now, then yeah, it's over. Norris has got the title, but let's stay hopeful. Let's stay hopeful because McLaren did not look fucking good on those hards at all. Where's Yuki gonna go? What's the difference between a soft tire and a hard tire? So a soft tire is the quickest tire, but it degrades quick. Medium hard tire lasts longer, but it's slower, and then a medium tire's in between. So if you want to go long, say okay, you don't want to go in for a pit stop because you lose 25 seconds on a pit stop. You want to go on the hards. But if you're doing qualifying or you want to be quick, you're on the softs. But then you need to manage the tires more. Piastri 10th off though, off Norris. That's a great lap from Hadja, by the way, ahead of Max. Oh my god, there's dust everywhere. Oh, whoa. He found time there in sector 3. Okay, that's what we want. That's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. Scars, look at the following. Sabasi. Imagine Orlando DNF and a Max P1 Oscar P2. We can dream. What's up, Alex Allen? First time listening to the live stream. Definitely enjoy it. Hell yeah. Well, welcome to the stream, dude. So I predicted both McLaren's crash in the race in my predictions league with friends. Bold, I know. Oof. That would be absolutely crazy if that happened. I mean, Piastri's title fight would be over. Whoa! Gasly off as well. Aston doing their random free practice times to give false hope. Just to make the sponsors happy, you know what I mean? Is your lap invalid if your tires are off track but are still on the white lines? Yep. It's once your tires are fully over the line. Watching F1 is live is paid, right? Yep. There's no way to watch F1 free. I mean, there's a few countries where it's on free to view TV, but it depends on the country. Like, it used to be free to view in Germany. They lost the rights. I don't think that's free to view in like any country now. Anyone know if it's free to view in any country on TV? Harry Luxembourg is free. There you go. Belgium and Switzerland. Oh, there you go. Whoa, and Lando went off. How does that work? Like how is F1 free in a country but not that? Oh, I assume it's because the broadcast company pay F1 for the rights and then they make the money back by selling ads to companies, right? Yeah. Whoa, Russell off as well. Everyone's going off. I like how it's free on Channel 4 BBC for the British GP. Yeah. Sup, David the Follow. I don't think you should wish for anyone to DNF. I mean, like I said before, I obviously don't want a driver to you know, lose because of a DNF, but and the thing is, I'm not saying I like want Lando. I would not put it this way. I don't want Lando to lose a championship because of a DNF, but I really want the race to go down to the final, go down to Abu Dhabi, and for that to happen and for it to be closed in Abu Dhabi, like Lando needs a DNF. I don't think there's anything personally wrong with hoping a driver DNFs for the benefit of your driver that you support, or in my case, to make the sport more interesting. But like, I'm not sitting here like, oh, I'm praying, I hope fucking Lando retires. Like, oh, fuck that guy. Like, no, it's just, you know, it's more just like looking at the possibilities of what Abu Dhabi could look like with a DNF. It's like crazy. I wouldn't wish to DNF on my most disliked driver to make the sport interesting. Jesus. Wait. Just so we're on the same page. DNF means did not finish, not crash. I'm not saying I want them to crash. I just want them to have a. I'm not saying again. I'm not even saying I want this to happen to Lando. Whoa, Lando, another problem. You're allowed to root against people. Yeah, I guess maybe like an analogy you could use is like, do you want to watch a football match with a player with one less players on the field? No. But if my team, if the opposing team to the team I support had a player having a decision made on his tackle, I'm low-key kind of hoping he gets a red card. You know what I mean? Not that I want him to get a red card personally, and not that I want the match to have one less player, but him having a red card benefits my team. And that's kind of how a DNF works in F1. I'm not hoping Lando crashes. Of course not. I don't want him to fucking crash. But if he gets a DNF, I'm obviously going to feel for Lando as a person because the DNF fucking sucks. But I'm not going to not celebrate the fact that the championship goes to Abu Dhabi and my favorite driver stays in the championship fight. If I am not able to cheer for my driver having the chance at winning a title, then what's the point of watching the sport? Like, I love Formula One and I love watching the fight, but I mean, I'm not cheering for Lando to DNF. I'm cheering for the sport, the title fight to go down to Abu Dhabi. But anyways, that's my opinion. That's the way I look at Formula One and I look at a sport. But I do agree. We're hoping drivers crash is crazy. Like, don't be wrong, like a crash is cool. But like, anyone who wishes for a driver to crash in Formula One is like, imagine you go on the highway and you just go like, oh, I hope he fucking crashes right now. Like, it's kind of sadistic. But a DNF is very different. Many ways to get a DNF. Anyways, guys, that wraps up practice one. Very interesting session. Let's do a quick little rundown, and then I'll read those messages in chat after. Colapinto in last, not surprised. Liam struggled in comparison where Hadji was. He just couldn't find a balance with the car. I'm going to assume he didn't do a lap on the softs, though, because he's so far down. It said, I know it's his softs, but that's because he's on softs right now. Gasly, P18. Ocon, P17. Bordello, 16. Behrman, 15. Russell, P14. Wow, Mercedes was so good on the hards and then completely fell off on the softs. So notice P13. Only 3/10 off of Max, by the way. Hamilton P12, Hulkenberg 11, Antonelli 10, Stroll 9, Leclerc 8, L1 7, Verstappen P6, 5/10 off of Piastri at the top right now. Then Hadja in P5. Amazing to see the VCAP up there. Same with Williams. Signs in P4. Williams best of the rest right now. Well, there's Alonso in P3. How the fuck is Alonso P3? But Aston always do this. They're just fucking crazy in practice. In saying that, Aston do like the high downforce track, so maybe they will be good. And then Norris P2 and Piastri getting the last quickest lap of the session. So maybe it is a little bit of track evo, but still, maybe a little bit of form back for Piastri. We haven't seen him like this close to Lando in a session in a little while. So yeah, very interesting stuff coming to sprint qualifying. But sprint qualifying is when we'll find out the proper pace of the teams. But also, we just saw how big of a difference it was between hard and soft. That, you know, I think where you qualify isn't going to depend on where you finish in the race. Also, another thing you want to keep in mind, something that we actually didn't speak about in that session, is the new strat that teams have figured out is you can run your car very low to the ground in the sprint. Why? Because there's only 20-ish laps. So you're not going to wear the plank enough. So in Sao Paulo, I think it was, what team was it? A team in Sao Paulo ran the car so low to the ground. Then, in between sprint and the quali, then they raised it up. Maybe that's what Aston's doing right now. They're doing it again, where they run their car so low to the ground. They go into the sprint, they do well, then they raise it up for the race, and then they fall off. So maybe McLaren are just running their car normally right now, and low to the ground normally right now for sprint quali and sprint, and then they'll raise it up, and then they'll lose a bit of time. So again, anything can happen. Everything will change from quali from the qualifying to the races, and everything will change as well from the sprints. From the sprint to the normal qualifying race. But yeah. Anyways, guys, that is it for practice 1. Thank you all for tuning on in. If you enjoyed, be sure to follow it down below. We are staying live. We've got F2 qualifying to watch, and we have got F1 sprint qualifying in 3 hours' time. If you watch on TikTok, come join us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Ponden. Same with YouTube. Come and join us. But yeah. That is it for the session. Be sure to follow down below. YouTube, I got to end the stream there, so come join us on Twitch. Thank you guys all for tuning on in. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.